Is he right, Mo Salah, that he shouldn't have to fight for his place and because of what he's done for the club?
Every single player in world football has to fight for their spot. That's where we have to start. I think how he's handled the situation clearly isn't right. I'm sure he knows the way he's handled it deep down isn't the way a professional guy of his stature should be handling the situation. But I also feel that he's a player who's voicing frustrations and anger due to the fact that he believes he can help the team in these moments. He can be a player who can help the team win games. And 5 months ago, he was, the best player in the Premier League and footballers, writers, and, assists, goals, leader. So individually, he would feel his performances, no matter how bad they are right now, he's going to come good again with the hard work he's going to do. And I feel that right now, it's a reconcilable situation. Of course, time will do that, go into AFCON, but it is, of course, a moment that is surprising for everybody involved, and I'd like for the club and him to repair the relationship.
And of course, he is a player who is known for not speaking out very often publicly. When he does, it's usually quite seismic, and he has something to say. So it was very considered, Alan. And we think back to a situation you had at Newcastle United with Ruud Gullit. I don't know if you saw parallels there. You chose not to speak out when that relationship broke down.
Yeah, I think before I say anything, he's not correct in what he said to the media in terms of he shouldn't say it. He should keep that within the dressing room or within the manager's office and tell him what he thinks of the manager, how he thinks the situation in front of him face to face. He shouldn't say it to the media. But I want to speak about the mentality of him and what he has achieved, what he has done, and I think how he will be thinking. He'll be embarrassed, he'll be hurt, he has an ego that's been damaged, because he will look at what he's done and what he's achieved and thought for 8 years he's practically carried that football club and scored on every occasion, won every single thing that they can win, and he's played a massive part of that, and without him that wouldn't have happened. So from his point of view, all of those things come into the equation, and he'll also look at other players in the team and think he's not playing well, he's not playing well, he's not playing well, yet they're still playing, and he feels he's probably taking the brunt of the criticism. Sometimes you have to accept that when you're a superstar at a football club like he is. So from his mentality, that's how he will be feeling. And he'll also look at, hang on, we're going away to Leeds United, we're not winning, and you're not putting me on to win the game. We're drawing at home to Sunderland, and I'm not starting that game, and we haven't played well. So that's how he'll be feeling. That doesn't excuse for what he said to the media. You're absolutely right. I had a similar situation. I felt all of those things because I felt I was a huge part of Newcastle, who and what I was, and the goals I scored. I felt real anger when the manager left me out, and because of the way that he did it. But it's not right when you go to the world's press and tell them what you're feeling. That should be kept in-house. But for all of those things, that's how he is feeling. I also there's a part of him that's also thinking the signings that the manager and the sporting director or the chief executive have made haven't worked also. Those players haven't worked. Those players haven't worked well. And Mo Salah and Alexander Isak is a tough one to ask also, because Isak at Newcastle was getting ball after ball after ball played early. Mo Salah is never going to do that. He's not that player. So that combination was always going to be a difficult one. So again, from his point of view, he's going to be frustrated. When you've done as much as he has for that football club, then I do look at that and think, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with how you've gone about it.
You make so many good points there, and I want to draw on the one about his frustration that he feels he's been disrespected. Has he, or is this just what happens inside a football club? It's a manager's prerogative to choose the team that he thinks is the best one he can send out to win a match. Is that disrespectful?
Well, I love the way you express everything, and I can agree on everything you said. Adding this point, it's just football. This is not like the end of the world. So for somebody to come out with his emotions and they'll fix it after and say, I'm sorry I did this. This will be fixed. It's not something that cannot be fixed. If both parties want it.
I mean, a lot of people don't think it will be fixed.
If both parties want to really move ahead, because we don't know how this explosion came about. There can be so many stories that we don't know about. For him to come out like this, for sure, there is a lot of hurt inside. No player wants to go out and explode like this, because at the end he is in a fault now. So yeah, I think there is some disrespect from his perspective, and it's important that the club and coach understand that part. Now that doesn't justify his actions, of course.
And he, of course, Lewis talked about the breakdown in the relationship with Arne Slot. Today he threw a few more a bit of fuel onto the fire with his social media post. He's been left at home and he was in the gym taking a picture of himself in an empty gym while his teammates travel out here to try and win a very important Champions League game. No message needed for this picture. It was just posted on its own there. This is not ending anytime soon, because he goes away at the weekend to Brighton. If they don't have a sit down in the next few days, he goes off to AFCON.
We expect for them to sit him down. I understand the frustration, and the guys expressing very well. For me, it's about the timing. I think it's a very, very bad timing. Coming out after a draw, after the team has been struggling the past month and a half without winning, without playing well, coming out and trying to put a fight or try to put an explosion inside the dressing room, I think it's not the best way to do it. I understand his frustration. I understand that he's not feeling loved, or he's been left outside of what he could have been a change and maybe him being played, but I don't think it was the right time. I've never been a big fan of the things in the dressing room coming out to
but
the
was
press.
it a deliberate time, knowing he was going away to AFCON next week?
I don't think that it exactly deliberate, because the result wasn't good. If you win, probably we wouldn't be in this situation. I think if that third goal of Szoboszlai stays on and you win the 3 points, you cannot come out and start pressing this way. I think that because of that situation, that's been talked, because in the set, I think it's been talked with the family, with the friends, with people around him, that he's been analyzing the situation, and it came off that way. I don't think that the timing was the best.
I don't think that, for me, it's not getting on the pitch that's made him do this. We go to the West Ham game, cool, they lose 2 games, which is obviously not what any players wants for the club. Concede 7 goals in 2 games, right? Go to West Ham, you win, and he didn't come on the pitch in that game. The second game happens, you draw 1-1, you bring him on at half-time. Psychologically, as the player, you're thinking, cool, it's my moment now. As an attacker, Alan, I'm sure you would agree, and 2 gentlemen here, you'd agree. You go, okay, cool, I'm going to be the answer. I'm going to come on, I'm going to make a difference. It didn't pan out that way, drew 1-1. The next game, you're probably thinking, well, I might get a start here. I'm more so thinking about it from his perspective in saying, I didn't get on again. And I think that's where there was probably an element of surprise to him. The reaction is absolutely terrible. How he's done it, how he said it, it's poor. I'm disappointed in my friend. But at the end of the day, I think he can come good again. That's the thing. I think we are sort of viewing this in a moment of craziness. The key is what's going to happen post this match, and whether he's going to be involved at the weekend.
Alan,